Hey everyone! I know it can get really overwhelming trying to figure out the Works Cited page and the References page in MLA and APA when you're documenting your sources. So I wanted to find one clear resource that lays the information out pretty clearly so that you can get a basic understanding of what to include for each source on your list, what items or elements are needed for your citation. And Scribbr, this website, has a pretty good tool to help you begin to understand how different sources will require different elements for your citation or documentation for that source. So we're going to start by looking at MLA. I am sending this link to this page to all of you in the announcement. And you're going to scroll down on this page. There's actually lots of good information on this page before we get to this part, but examples of works cited entries. So you're going to scroll down to examples of works cited entries, and then this box provides a really handy overview of the core elements of a works cited entry. So every entry, if you have one, is going to include an author, title of the source, the title of the container. And what's very handy about this box is when you hover over one of the items in one of the elements in the entry, it gives you more information in that pop-up window, like what the heck is a container. So it explains that, and then it also explains the title of a source and how to present it using either quotation marks or italics. Gives you more information about authors, etc. So it's a very handy little tool to understand more about those core elements of a works cited entry. The other thing that's helpful to know about those core elements is the order that these items are presented in is the order in which they'll always appear. So for instance, if you don't have an author, then the next item in your works cited entry and the thing that will start it will always be the title of the source in quotation marks. So just having this list of information is really useful so that you know how to order the information for a source. The other thing that's very helpful here is they have this interactive tool so that you can visually see what different kinds of sources look like once you consider the specifics of your unique source. So you can use these drop-down arrows. Let's say what I have is a web page. So it immediately changes to include what a web page would look like. My author, my article title, the title of the container, the date it was published, and then in this case I need to include that URL. And let's say I actually have 3 or more authors for this web page. I'm going to click on that. And again, it changes and shows me what that would look like with 3 or more authors. And let's say I don't have a date. I'll click on that, and it shows me then what it looks like without a date. This word accessed means you are including the date you accessed the information. So that's what accessed means. So if there's no date for the source, you include the date that you accessed it at the end of the citation. The other thing that's helpful is you can also look at just what the format would look like without the specifics of a particular source. So you can either look at it as the general format for the source, or you can look at it as with an example of a specific source cited. So this is a really helpful tool to just start getting familiar with the different features of a particular source and how those features come together to create the works cited entry. They have a similar one for APA. So again, you've got this, you can choose the different elements of the source to combine them together to create the particular source that you have that you're trying to create a works cited entry for. So I'll send you links for both of these pages, and hopefully this will be really helpful as you work to put together your own either works cited page for MLA style or references page for APA style.